Hey folks, welcome to another video here on Nick's Vision to Hear. Always great to have you on board. Today I've got a real world experience to tell your doctor that you have congenital rubella syndrome. It's very important. This is a situation that could have been dire had I not known what was actually going on. Now I went to my doctor and he said my blood pressure was high. And he's looking on websites of heart foundations and all this sort of stuff. And so I let him put me on a new medication, thinking, okay, second blood pressure, it'll get it down. What happened a week after created a very serious problem for the environment in which my body operates under, which is congenital rubella syndrome. From the research I found, there's a side effect of some of these blood pressure medications. They can lower your blood pressure too fast. And for me, a weak spot in my body is my eyes. So what's happened is it's starved the optic nerve of oxygen. Now with CRS, that adds a new layer of what that could actually cause. So, when I went back to the doctor to explain this to him, I up front said, I have congenital rubella syndrome, remember? The conversation completely changed. Gave him the data of the blood pressure tests that I'd done, and he realised that didn't fix the problem. It exacerbated the problem. And so what we tried to do was to fix an environment that didn't need to be repaired. It was okay the way it was. So this goes to show that you need to tell your doctor straight up before they give you anything new, that you need to tell them up front that you have congenital rubella syndrome first and foremost. And the reason for that is they're dealing with an environment, not a number. So I might be a person who thrives on, let's say, 140 over 90, not 120 over 80. Why? Because people with rubella have smaller arteries. They have heart problems. So they have an environment that needs to be managed very differently. So we're not the norm. We are a very unique group of people in society. We're not number chasers. We seek an environment change. And that's very different to looking at numbers on a medical chart. That's dealing with a very, very unique thing. In fact, I akin it to a big tent. And in that tent is an event like a wedding ceremony, but all the tables are broken. That's what congenital rubella syndrome is. It's a broken set of tables in a big tent. Those tables are the conditions that you have. And the reason the damage is different between each person is the tables can be damaged in different ways. So that's why I refer it as the big tent. Because it is. It's a big tent. And you can't get out of that big tent because that's your body. So we don't want to destroy the big tent. We'll never do that. We've got to manage the environment of what's inside the big tent. And if we start taking legs off tables just to fix another one, we can probably have a disaster on our hands. That's why it's important to tell your doctor you have congenital rubella syndrome first and foremost. That way, your medical care is not a set of numbers. It's a syndrome, not a symptom. That's a point. It's a syndrome, not a symptom. So We need to manage our tables in our big tent with delicacy. We don't go in with a wrecking ball, because we could destroy one of those tables. So that's why we've got to be delicate. That's why we've got to understand the hand we were dealt was not meant to be easy, but we've got to manage that under a big tent. Let's manage it with care. So when your doctor knows you have this, the environment and the conversation changes. We no longer look at numbers, we look at the environment. Okay, it's affected my vision. Let's get rid of that. The vision's come back to normal. So I'll tell him in the next 3 months, and at my next 3-month checkup, vision went back to normal. Bingo. We know the environment. We know not to touch that. It's important to understand that what may be good for the mainstream of society is not good for those people with congenital rubella syndrome. You enjoy your day? Of course, this is not a medical channel. It is an advice channel for people who suffer from congenital rubella syndrome from somebody who also has congenital rubella syndrome. It's a life lesson channel. And let's share the stories together. Leave yours in the comments. Let's start a conversation. You enjoy your day. This is Nick Pollock from Nick's Vision to Here. I'll talk to you next time.